Romulan warbird decloaking directly ahead. They are powering weapons.
Shields up, red alert, prepare phasers.
Hello, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be having a look at cloaking devices and how cloaking works in Star Trek Infinite. So here I've got the Klingon Empire. I've created a Negba class ship, and we can see here we're in Federation space. We'll zoom into the ship, and it currently says here there's no cloaking activated. You can't see anything that says at all that the ship is cloaked, but yet when you go to the ship design in utilities, we have double cloaking devices. I just put two on because I'm just testing this out. So we've got cloaking. Now note it does say officers, operative officers 10 for cloaking devices. So if your crew is not at full strength, your cloaking device may not work. So you do need the crew to operate your ship, and your ship firepower and strength goes up as your officers man the ship. So, and it does take a little bit of time for them to transfer, even though I do have lots of officers available there. I've maxed out the resources. Okay, so we're in Federation space. You can see the cloak's not activated. There's no cloaking there, and we are currently at peace. The way cloaking works is that when you've equipped the cloaking device on your ship, it is always active. As soon as you've built it, as soon as it's deployed, it's always active. Now, when you're not at war, other empires can see your ships if they're within sensor range of the borders. As you can see here, the Klingon Empire has fleets back there. I have a fleet back here. Now what I'll do is I'll flick to the Federation view so you can see what the Federation can see. So this is the Federation view. You can see here that there was a fleet here, 2K, which was the Negva class ship. Can't see what's there because I've actually taken the station, but we can't see the sensor range. We would have sensor range here, but it says Intel level medium, but we can't see any ship, can we? Yet you can, when you're at war, because we are at war with the Klingon Empire, United Federation of Planets, the Klingons can see the Federation fleet moving through their territory. You can see here, there's my Negva class ship. It is currently at warp, so I did warp out of that system, but it did take that system. We still can't tell if it's cloaked, if it's at warp. But let's flick to the Federation view to see if they can see this Negva class ship warping to Sol, their capital system, from Regulus. So this is the Federation view, same date. The Negva is about there, warping, but the Federation cannot see it. Yet the Klingons can see these Federation fleets, which are... So I've arrived at the Sol system with the Negva. You can see here that my ship is on the edge of the system. Now I'll just unpause it for a second. So while the ship is just moving in the system, you can see that it's currently not cloaked. When you click it on a station to actually attack, now let's watch. You can see it's moved into cloak. It's cloaked. It's not yet in combat range of the station. When it gets in combat range of the station, it will decloak. Now let's see if the Federation can see this ship. So you can see here the Negva is not currently cloaked. It's moving in closer. This is the Federation view, so they can see it once it's entered the system. So we can see that the ship is cloaked, and it does have a animation to show that it's cloaked, and it does go from a standard looking ship. When it activates the cloak, it changes into this look. So, and we did see that a few minutes ago. So there is an animation for it to cloak and decloak. And I've shown you that you can't see the cloaked fleet while it's at warp. You can't see the cloaked fleet once you go to war. So if you had your fleets back at Kronos, you declared war on the Federation, the ships that are equipped with cloak will cloak, and then you can move them to the Federation border unseen, or to the Romulan border, or whoever you're going to fight. That seems to be how cloaked ships work. They will decloak once they enter combat, and also you can see them when they enter the system as well. The enemy can see them when they enter the system, but they have no idea that you're heading to that system, and they can't prepare accordingly. So you could launch multiple surprise attacks with cloaked fleets at multiple locations, and your enemy does not know you're coming, provided you cloaked your fleets far enough back out of sensor range that your neighbours could not detect your military build-up prior to war. So if you were massed on the border and then cloaked and did a surprise attack, they would have probably seen your fleets massing and knew something was up. So, and I guess that's a bit of game balance there. Otherwise, if cloaked fleets were just always cloaked the entire time, it would be rather unbalancing. The fact that you have to cloak them where they're outside of sensor range, then move them to the front, it makes it a little bit more realistic. And cloaking while at warp, you can't see them while at warp. So I think that was possible in Star Trek. I'm pretty sure, because I remember seeing the Defiant. Yeah, they were cloaked, and Romulan Warbirds. Yeah, so that's realistic. That's canon. So that's fine. So you can launch surprise attacks, and you can attack all along the front, do raiding missions with cloaked fleets, hitting supply lines. Because one of the big thing in this game is the officers. If you're killing lots of officers, your ability of your enemy to maintain a fleet is weakened, and ships lose capability as they lose officers. So it's the cloaking could be a really big advantage for hit and run tactics, launch surprise attacks, and keep in mind it's star bases that provide your warp range for your military ships. So if you take out key star bases, that reduces the enemy's potential to launch offensives into your territory. So you can see here, my Vorchar can't go beyond the range there. It says the system is out of logistic warp range. So I have to take more star bases in Federation territory to be able to prosecute the war fully. So you can see how cloaking could be very effective in that means, taking out the logistics and the infrastructure of an enemy that does not have cloak, or even you could have cloak versus cloak, with the Romulans and the Klingons both using cloak against each other, which would be really interesting to see that kind of war actually. I'll have to look into that for the future. So I just wanted to show how cloaking works. So just to cap it off, cloaking is always active once you've built the ship with a cloaking device on it. Those ships will be visible to neighbours when not at war or in combat. So once you enter combat, your cloaking device will deactivate, and when you enter the enemy system, it deactivates to be able to see. So the cloaking can still be active, but the enemy can still see your fleet is there. That's what I've seen in these tests. So I'm not sure that's working 100% correctly. Maybe they shouldn't better see it, but at the moment they can see it. So once you go to war, the enemy can no longer see your cloaked fleets. If you massed them on the border, they would have seen your fleets there, and there you're massed, so they have some idea of your strength. But once the war started, those fleets have gone invisible and they don't know where they're going. So if you do it further back, you can cloak your fleets or declare war when you're back out of sensor range, and then move your fleets forward. And it doesn't take long on this because it's all warp travel, and the enemy cannot see where your fleets are coming from or how many ships you've got. So that's a very good surprise attack weapon. So I just thought I'd share that because I know there's been a lot of comments on Reddit and the forums on cloaking's not working and it's bugged. It does work. I've shown it works here. Can't say it's working 100% correctly. That's up to the devs to sort out. The only thing I've noticed is that when you enter a system with a cloaked fleet, it can still be cloaked, and you can still see it. So that's the only thing. But if you've got 20 ships just warped in here and he's got no defenses prepared or very little, just a starbase and a few ships, well then you've got your surprise attack. It's the same result really. He can't respond. So the only benefit you'd get if entering a system was still cloaked, you might get a little bit closer and it decloaks here once you're in firing range, because this type of ship's got, let's have a look at the ship design here. It's got a X-slot weapon, so it's got a range of 130. So it's going to quickly decloak not long after you enter the system anyway. Alright guys, that's it for today. If you like this video because it helped you and it solved the cloaking problem for you and helped make the game a little bit more transparent, and you can now use cloak and go and fight your wars, go enjoy it and have fun. See you guys next time. Bye for now.